All right, download the free Odyssey app and listen to 95.7 The Game wherever you go. Catch all the live games on the app along with all the music and news the Bay Area needs. And catch amazing interviews, too. Also, listen to podcasts like Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys. All right, Bill Barnwell has an article on ESPN right now. ESPN.com. Bill Barnwell covers the NFL. One of the best writers out there. One of the best. I love the way he covers the NFL. Breaks down the plays or whatnot. No biases whatsoever. And he's ranked the Niners playmakers, skill set positions in 2023 and 2024 as the number one unit in the league. He loves its collection of talent with Brandon Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, McCaffrey, Juwan Jennings, Brock Purdy. But his article, it has a headline, folks, 888-957-9570. Extend Brock Purdy, ? Or keep the core together? Every angle of the 49ers' looming decision. And when he says extend Brock Purdy, there's numbers and there's a question mark with an exclamation point. $325 million for Brock. $325. Now he talks about how great he's been with the 49ers and how he has this great talent and, he's been really, really good historically. But he's going to get a raise. And he's talking $60 million a season. $60 million a season. Now, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. Damn.
Okay. So
damn, this is a lot of money. And there's questions, right? Here's the same questions that we have every day. Let me just throw the questions at Bill Barnwell writes. Can he operate as a pure drop-back quarterback? He says yes. Does he struggle with East League? Purdy's worst game of last season was on Christmas against the Ravens. He was awful. He was awful. But the good news is Purdy played well in the playoffs and came back in those games. Can he throw deep? Barnwell breaks that down. Can he throw to the outside? He breaks that down. So there's a lot of things here, a lot of layers. But he basically says, can the Niners keep all their playmakers together and move on to another quarterback? Or do you keep Purdy, know that you got to get rid of these playmakers? Purdy could get as much as $325 million.
So
wow.
This is just, wow. I mean, it's a staggering amount of money. And look, can we all have said, we don't know what the guarantees are. We don't know all that stuff. These are just hypotheticals. This year's cap was $255.
Mm-hmm.
If you go with the same growth for next year, you're looking at a cap, and this is from the article, at approximately $286, okay? Well, currently the 49ers are $30 million over what next year's cap, or what right. This year's cap would be. So that would put them with some wiggle room for next year. But they have 9 important free agents. And that doesn't account for Brandon Ayuk's money. That doesn't account for Trent Williams' money, who also wants money currently. Depending on how they structure this thing, he's only made $2.6 million through this year. That's Purdy total. He's looking at somewhere between $64 and $65 million a year.
Yeah.
Now, this goes back to, we all think he's a good player. Is he $65 million good? Is he, okay, for example, in this hypothetical, this year, Kirk Cousins makes $45 million, okay? Is he $20 million for this year? That's just for this year. Is he $20 million better in a single year than Kirk Cousins? These are the things that Kyle Shanahan literally alluded to, what he's breaking down when he was talking to Tim Kawakami.
Yeah.
And now this is also the team that with Jimmy Garoppolo, when they gave him a big contract, they realized that their finances were up against it. They need to get cheaper there. So I think they want to pay Purdy. I don't know if they want to pay him $65 million.
Right.
$65 million, for example, would cost you on the Niners currently. You would say, and I'm just picking these guys, Charvarius Ward making 18, you're out of here. Brandon Ayuk making 15, you're out of here. Dre Greenlaw making 10, you're out of here. Javon Hargrave making 10 this year, you're out of here. Think about that. Again, this is what the Chiefs did. Just a couple of years ago, the Chiefs paid Patrick Mahomes. They said goodbye, Frank Clark. They said goodbye to Tyreek Hill. They said goodbye to the Honey Badger. They traded a lot of guys or cut a lot of guys, and they completely reset their team.
You know what, though? They've drafted well.
Really
And they
well.
haven't missed on picks.
Really well.
That's one thing the Niners have done. Now, Bill Barnwell writes in this one paragraph, I'm going to read this out. What would Purdy's contract extension look like, folks? So we keep talking numbers, and I have no idea what the number's going to look like. I'm again, I'm exhausted from talking about Brock Purdy's contract extension because we're not even there yet. We haven't even got through this season. We haven't even got to a preseason game yet. So I'm already getting nauseated by this talk about how much money he's going to make. But here it is, so we can get this out the way. What will Purdy's contract extension look like? Probably larger than you think or 49ers fans care to imagine. Right now, the top of the market for a quarterback coming off his third season is a 5-year, $275 million deal with Trevor Lawrence back in June with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Purdy, as Bill Barnwell writes, has been more productive, which I agree with, and successful than Lawrence, even if he doesn't have the same draft pedigree as a number 1 overall pick in 2021. Between now and then, we're expected to see other quarterbacks sign extensions. Love's on the verge of a massive extension. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys could find common ground, given that he would otherwise be an unrestricted free agent after the season. It will be a surprise if one or both of those passers didn't break the latest threshold, and make the $60 million per year on their new contracts. On top of that, Purdy is ineligible to sign his extension until 2025, but the cap should rise even further. The cap has risen an average of just under 12% per year over the past 3 years. And if we penciled that in as the expected rise for next year, it would jump from $255 million all the way north to $286 million. So it's going to jump possibly $31 million, the cap that is. That creates more space for the Niners to work with as they build a Purdy deal, but it also encourages him to land a larger contract to keep in line with the actual value of other contracts.
Wow.
So again, as fans, we keep saying, oh, these players, they need to take pay cuts. They need to take pay cuts. That's not how it works, folks. This is business. The businessman in you will get all the money that you want. The fandom in us want all these guys to take pay cuts and be on team-friendly deals. But we're fans. And that's not how it works in the business world. You become a fan in the business world, you'll get eaten alive. That's not how you have a successful business. So these players are going to get what they deserve, and they're going to break the bank no matter what. Now, if he continues this level of play, as Bill Barnwell says, Shasky, my best estimate is that a Purdy deal will come in around 5 years and $325 million for an average of $65 million per season. It's always possible the quarterback could take some semblance of a reduced salary to try to make life easier for the team, but after making just $2.6 million over the first 3 years of his existing deal, I'm not sure why he would be willing to cut the Niners any slack. Now, the Niners would also have less leverage over Purdy than a team like the Jaguars would have over Lawrence. First-round picks have their rookie deals fully guaranteed, but in return, they also have a fifth-year option. As a result, when a first-round pick becomes eligible for free agency, they're really 4 years away from unrestricted free agency. So players have chosen in the first round don't have full guarantees and make less upfront than first-rounders, but they don't have a fifth-year option, which allows them to get to free agency. After 2024, Purdy will only be 3 years away from free agency. We've seen mid-round picks such as Dak Prescott and Russell Wilson parlay those accelerated timelines into massive player-friendly deals. So what would a $325 million extension mean for San Francisco, Shasky? What do you think it means? It means saying bye-bye to some very good players.
Yeah, you think? So, okay. Does what happened with Jimmy Garoppolo factor into your mindset at all? Not comparing Purdy to Jimmy, just in terms of team construction and what maybe they have learned over the years about how you feel the team and how you spread your money out.
Well, I thought they had a really good team-friendly contract with Jimmy. Although Jimmy was getting his money, he had opt-outs after the, first 2 or 3 years of that contract?
Yeah.
So they protected themselves.
Agreed.
If Jimmy didn't perform at a high level, which we could argue till we're blue in the face, they could have opted out. They could have moved on from Jimmy. Hell, Shanahan admitted that Tom Brady came to them, and Shanahan said no, so that's on him. And that's an entirely separate conversation, But they could have got out of the Jimmy deal. So they protected themselves in the Jimmy Garoppolo deal, Shasky, I believe. And I don't think it killed them. I
know that the $65 million price tag, like $65 million it's monopoly money, right? On a $300 million payroll, you're looking at 20% of the cap, right? I mean, it's more if it's 65. If it's 65, you're like 21, 22, 23. So forget the overall number. Like the number 65, I'm looking at like percentage of the cap. It's just a lot to soak up for one player. And so when you do that, you got to have a ton of faith in getting something for the people you're removing from the situation. You know, some you're going to have to cut and you get nothing for them, and some you can hopefully trade. I think the Chiefs' situation was accelerated in terms of their rebuild because they did get 2 first-rounders for Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Right? And they hit. They got the linebacker and the safety, right?
Yep.
And both of those seem like hits. And then you have a quarterback who clearly elevates others. It's pretty obvious.
So, you know what? It sounds absurd.
What?
We're asking Purdy to say, hey, take a pay cut, take a team-friendly deal. He can make $65 million a year. And we got fans asking him just to take 40. So he's going to just leave $25 million on the table.
Because, no, this is the joke. I'm joking.
Yeah, no.
Because the Niners are going to get you the Gold Bar whiskey deal. We're going to get you the Toyota commercial. We are going to get you, what is that seed company that he does in Iowa?
Oh, it's not John Deere, right? No, it's a seed company.
But,
I don't know.
I don't know. He does have a John Deere commercial.
Yeah.
But, like, that's, so, like, to your point.
Seeds.
Pioneer Seeds.
Like, the one thing that, like, you can't suppress is his off-the-field earnings, right? And so I would try to line up all of the biggest sponsors with the 49ers. I'm dead serious on this. If I was running the team, the Niners, I'd be like, and I know that Jerry Jones did this with Dak. Hey, Chunky Campbell Soup, we need you to give Dak this commercial. I would talk to all of my biggest sponsors, and I'd be like, we've got to get this guy front and center, because if he takes, you know, $59 million as opposed to $66 million, that gives us a left guard.
Right.
No, I'm dead serious.
It is true.
I know I sound crazy.
But when I heard you guys talking about $35 to $40 million a year, I'm laughing. I'm laughing saying, this guy ain't leaving $10 million on the table. Now we're talking about, Bill Barnwell is basically saying that Brock Purdy can net $325 million over a 5-year deal, 49er fans. 888-957-9570. Are you willing? If Purdy performs like he did last season, he's going to be in line to make $325 million over a 5-year deal.
I'm going to be the first at the trough at this one. I would probably have to be propped up after I pass out reading the contract details.
Yeah, I know you will.
But if I was Jed York, I would probably turn more ghost white than I already am.
Why?
Like,
Jed York already came out and said he's going to reset the quarterback market. So why would Jed York turn into Casper? Why would he turn into Casper? He knew this was coming. He came out and said it.
Bonte, this is an astronomical amount of money. Not that you don't like him. He's a really good player. I could have presented you the deal that Patrick Mahomes got.
What if you start, the 10-year deal?
With Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and I'd still, and as an owner, I'd be like, yeah, I'd probably give him the deal, but it's still like, oh my God. Like, this is. I'm in a hot church in Sonoma, 110 degrees, and I'm passing out in my suit. Like, no. Like, this is all.
I am so happy you're not the GM of my football team.
This is crazy money.
No, I'm so happy. This is pro sports, dude. Where have you been at? This stuff has been rising for over the last 25 years.
The Emmanuel Quickly deal made me want to pass out.
Well, why? It's not your money. It's
because
the owner's
Emmanuel
money.
Quickly could walk up. Well, he'd be 6'8", but he could walk up and go, I'm Emmanuel Quickly. And I'd be like, who?
Well, yeah, because you don't watch League Pass.
99% of people have no idea who Emmanuel Quickly is.
You don't watch League Pass.
And he got a $200 million deal.
Nope. New York Kitty sitting over here saying, really? You don't know Emmanuel Quickly? Come on now.
Dog.
He was begging the table when they traded him to Toronto. He loved Emmanuel Quickly.
Stop that. You're a Knicks fan.
I cared more about him than RJ Barrett at the time.
Yep,
there you go.
Barrett's garbage.
There you go. He led up the Warriors. He left the Warriors, had a damn near career high. Look, man, you're pressed about the money. You got to chill. This is pro sports, dude. They're going to get paid a lot of money, a lot more money than we make. This is the price they pay.
It's not about me.
They're going to get, you make it about
relative.
you. No, you pass out over any money. Brandon Ayuk can sign right now 5 years, $120 million, 70 guaranteed, and you're going to turn white. Oh my God, what if he gets hurt? It's the price of doing business, baby. This is what it is. This is the market. 5 years, $325 million. If Brock Purdy plays like he did last season, you going to have a problem with the deal? What if he puts up the same exact numbers?
I told you, even Patrick Mahomes, knowing what we know now, when that contract was given to him, I would just be like, oh my God, this is a lot of money.
When I saw that contract,
it's a huge risk.
When I saw Patrick Mahomes get $500 million, I said he's worth every damn penny. That's what I said in real time. That's what I said. No, he is worth that much. Go ask anybody in Kansas City. Go ask all the Patrick Mahomes jerseys that's selling. Taylor Swift, everybody. Patrick Mahomes is worth $1 billion. For what he's making for that organization.
You know what? He might be.
He's worth $1 billion. $500 million is a pay cut for him. I'm like, damn, Kansas City got off easy.
But
10 years of $500 million?
You don't think these owners aren't like, Jesus, this is rife with stress.
They got, Chad York is printing money. I heard you over and over. Oh, my God, the 49 team store, the line is out the window. It's sold out. Oh, my God, they're printing money in Levi Stadium.
Do you know how rich people stay rich?
Oh, I know how they stay rich. Trust me, I got some rich friends.
By making sure they don't make bad investments.
Yeah, and is Brock Purdy a bad investment?
Bonte, I thought Jimmy G was a good investment. Now
he was.
Okay.
Jimmy G was a good investment.
Was a good investment. I was wrong.
Jimmy was a good investment.
Well, I mean,
you got to another industry. Listen, you paid Jimmy. You got to a Super Bowl.
22% of the cap.
Yeah, but you got to a Super Bowl, right?
No,
and
I'm saying,
you got to another industry championship.
22% of your salary.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But what is he bringing to the organization?
A quarter of the team.
Brock Purdy, you could put this guy on the side of Levi Stadium.
So you're doing the deal, no doubt about it?
If he plays like he did this year.
No caveats. I'm not letting you wiggle out of this. If he does this.
If he plays like he did last year and this team wins a damn Super Bowl, Brock Purdy, you're eating for free in the Bay Area. You can have what the hell you want to have.
All right.
I'm happy with Brock Purdy. This is I understand the business. The market's reset.
The playoffs take place exactly like they did last year. A little up, a little down. We win at the end. Super Bowl, we lose in a heartbreak fashion, and it's the three-peating Chiefs who beat us.
Who showed up in the fourth quarter, Jimmy or Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy showed up in the fourth quarter. Pay that man his money. You were the last pick of the NFL draft, making $800,000, living in San Francisco. He can't even buy a house right now. He can't even buy a house, and he's a starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. He's probably borrowed $5 million from his agent. He probably owes his agent $10 million for trying to live in this economy.
If this were baseball and it was Shohei Ohtani and like, we got no salary cap, whatever, dude. But you got to fill out the rest of the roster.
Well,
if I give a guy, just hear me out. If I give a guy $65 million, okay, and he's got no O-line, all right, and he's got no weapons, that guy's going to be running for his life.
You're going to have to pay somebody. And how many players are going to want to play for Shanahan in this offense for the cheap? You don't know how they draft.
They've got a superstar team now, and nobody wants to play on the cheap. Everybody's like this.
I don't
blame them. They look like Iguodala pretending that he didn't foul someone. Everyone's got their hands out like we're at church.
When y'all laughed at me.
Put some money in the collection plate.
Y'all laughed at me when I said I would give Shohei Ohtani $75 million a year. People said, oh, you're out of your mind.
But
now y'all not laughing at me no more.
Yeah, but there's no salary cap.
You got CBT. Got the collective bargaining tax. Got the CBT.
That's not hitting their books.
What do you mean you don't care about that, Mr. Charles Schwab? You all about the money, right?
Payments.
Come on now.
Like because you signed Shohei, you could still sign Yamamoto.
No, I know. I get. He deferred it. We didn't know he was going to turn. I'm talking about if he just signed a deal and there was no deferred money. Shohei, here's $75 million a year.
Yeah, but you could still afford Yamamoto. In this scenario, if you sign Shohei, you got to say goodbye to Freddie Freeman and you got to say goodbye to this guy. So it's just a little different. It's a little different.
You might. You might.
No, you might. No, you will.
You might. You might. But I'm not worried about. I'm not going to fade over money. This is the price of doing business. This is pro sports. The money's skyrocketing. Television deals are skyrocketing. Ticket prices are skyrocketing. Jersey sales are skyrocketing. The price of watching football games are skyrocketing. The team salaries are skyrocketing. It is what it is. It is what it is. This is the price of doing business. So, do you want to pay him $325 million over the next 5 years? Knowing that you got a solid quarterback who's going to be a top 10 quarterback?
Can I, before I give him this contract, can I see how the year plays out? And then, what if Aaron Rodgers wants to come for $41 million?
So you would rather have Aaron Rodgers right now than Brock Purdy?
This is about building a team, right? So, this is why I'm not. Again, I'm just saying there's many ways to build a team, right? Let's see how this year plays out.
Yeah, but I would rather have Brock Purdy than Aaron Rodgers at this stage of his career.
So 1 second. $65 million for Brock, or I'm going to go real low. $30 million for Aaron Rodgers.
Give me Brock.
For 65.
Give me Brock. Because you're not accounting for the locker room nuisance that Aaron Rodgers is.
It's year one. He'll play nice.
No, he won't. Did he play nice with the New York Jets? He's done all kind of things. He didn't even play 4 snaps for the New York Jets. And he's got people in New York City saying, damn, what did we sign up for? They don't love him that much. You better play. You better play at a high level. New York Kitty, you're a Jets fan, right?
Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You are a weirdo.
But the Jets are always going to jet, like you said, because this is what they do.
Yeah.
Brett Favre,
How do they feel? What do your New York buddies say about Aaron Rodgers, you're Jet. Because I know you got some friends who are Jets fans.
They're confident, but now since it's the second year, they're shaking because they're like, oh no, could it happen again? Could he go down? I don't know. Jets are always going to jet.
So, look, man, I think we're all in position in life. Whether we're doing this radio show, whether you're doing television, aren't you trying to get the most money you could possibly get? Isn't that the goal of life? Is to get the most money you could possibly get?